Hey there everyone, welcome back to a new review on my channel. It's been a long time, but I'll explain myself briefly. Essentially, my computer broke down with every files and everything that I've had, so I've not really been able to film anything or edit anything, and I thought I'd wait for my new computer to come, but with everything going on, it's been hard to get one, and Apple told me that it's beyond repair, so I'd have to buy a new one. And I'm not really prepared at the moment to pay those prices that Apple asks for their computer. So I've decided to just go back to how I did my videos before, just a simple one-on-one with no intro and no anything, because I did buy a few products that I feel you guys would want to review on. So today we'll look at the Cyber Magic Kit by Worm and Theory 11. How much does it cost? It's $49.99 on Theory 11, and it comes with gimmicks, or if you prefer, you could buy your own gimmicks since they are available on Amazon and just buy the app itself. And I believe that's $34.99 US. I know in Canadian, it's $47.99. So I'm guessing it would be around $35 US for just the app on the App Store. So that's what you get. Now, let's get into the requirements for the trick, since I feel this is something that many people want to know. So you can perform this on any Android. So I'm talking about who you're gonna perform it to. So you can perform this to any person that has an Android phone. So this is gonna work on any Android phone when you do it to them. However, if you wanna perform it on an iPhone, it has to be an iPhone XS, XR, or more. The new iPhone SE will count, but it has to be a new version of an iPhone. So take that in mind. You're gonna have to spot through the lens or just ask the person if they have an iPhone XS, XR, or more in order to perform this. On your side, you need an iPhone 7 or more to perform this. So your own phone doesn't really have to be the new models, but the phone regarding iPhones that you want to perform this onto the spectator, they have to be new models. So that is something to take in mind. Now, that's out of the way. Let's talk about the instructions briefly. So essentially, when you get the app and you log in with the code that comes in this small package, if you decide to buy it with the gimmicks, you get an overview of the whole app and every tab and everything going on. And then every trick in the effects tab has a tutorial on how to set it up, how to perform it, and what you have to do. So getting into the performance, is this as clean as the trailer? Yes and no. You are going to have to fiddle a little bit, not much, with the spectator's phone and with your own phone before the effect. So what I mean by this is, let's imagine this is the spectator's phone. You're not gonna take it and be typing anything. You're just gonna take it in your hand. Imagine this is their phone. And just while you're talking to them, a few seconds, you're gonna be like, perfect, so we're gonna try and form a connection here between me and you, but it's gonna be an interesting connection. Just let me explain here for a second. Can you hold out your hand flat? Perfect, here, take your phone and keep it on your hand. That's the only thing you have to do with their phone. Your hand will never leave this stage. So you're not gonna have to type, you're not gonna have to, be seen with your thumb typing anything. It's essentially, you just take the phone just like this and you give it back to them. It takes 5 seconds. And the same thing with your phone. Depends the routine. On some routines, your phone can be out of play if you do a little bit of work beforehand. So essentially you do the effect before and then you come back to do it to them later. Or you're gonna have to have it on the table, or you're just gonna have, for the effects that I like, take it out of your pocket, do something really quickly, and then continue the effect. So again, when you're practicing, it's probably gonna be 10 seconds, but when you get the hang of it and the pattern, because that's the most important. If you have the pattern, it's gonna feel like 1 second. If you don't, for example, if you're there and you say, perfect, you give your pattern, then you take their phone and you're like, okay, now we're gonna continue. That seems weird, but if you give pattern and context to what you're doing, then it's fine. Same with your phone. If you take your phone out to prepare the trick and you're just like this, okay, so now that we continue, that's weird. But if you take it and you're like, perfect, so the connection that we're gonna try and form is between myself, your phone, and you, my phone, and me. So it sounds all weird and convoluted, but it's gonna make sense in a moment. Let's continue. See, that looks fine. There's pattern, all the movements are kept in motion, and the specter is kept in the story. So that's to take in account in presentation. And as I said, there are gimmicks. You're gonna have to have a gimmick on you. You're gonna either have to have one or two gimmicks, depending on the effects. The app does give you two special outs where you do not need a gimmick. So if you just want to perform 2 effects, you just need 1 gimmick. If you want to perform 3 effects, you're gonna need 2 gimmicks for the 3rd effect, because 2 of them you're gonna have the option to do the gimmick portion directly from the app covertly. So I think that that's kind of the gist of the performance and everything you have to know about that. Lastly, let's get into, before just explaining the effects and the final review, because I want to wrap this up pretty quickly, about the gimmicks. What you get in the Theory 11 set is a plethora of NFC chips. I'm not revealing anything. If you just go on the Theory 11 website, they tell it to you clearly. So it is not a surprise. But the ones that you get in this set are specifically made for this app, and they are covert. They are hidden with skin color, and they are various sizes. So what I mean by this is that if you get the ones from Amazon, I saw most of them come in big chunks. So you're gonna have to cut them, adjust them, find ways to hide them, and you won't be able to hide them, for example, on your hand or anywhere else. You're gonna probably have to do it in clothing. So that's kind of a disadvantage from the ones from Theory 11, because the ones that they use are incredibly well made. They're hidden, you can hide them in plain sight, and they're gonna work especially well. I've tried it with a normal NFC tag from Amazon. It takes around 2 seconds. It's not much. Again, 2 seconds is nothing. But with these ones, it takes less than a second for the for the trick to work well. So they are made specifically for the app. So I would recommend you buy directly from Theory 11 the full kit rather than buying just the app and the tags. But if you want to just hook up the tags on your body or anywhere else, if you've worked with tags before, then by all means go for just the app, but I would recommend the full kit. So now let's just go over quickly the effects, and then I'll give you my final thoughts on it. So the effects that you have are ranging basically in 2 different areas, with text message or with phone. So essentially you can have the spectator's phone call your phone on its own. You can have your phone call the spectator's phone. You can have the spectator imagine they're dialing in their head their number on your keypad, and it's actually your keypad that they're imagining it on. So they're imagining that, and then your phone just starts to glitch out and call their phone. That is the best routine in my opinion. For me, that's the best routine that you can do. Then you have a routine with a text message, so you can send anything you want as a text message to that number. And another routine is a brilliant one where they think of any word. So they're thinking of any word. You ask them, think of any word, and let's say they're thinking of, let's say they're thinking of planet Earth. They can even think of 2, like a full word like that. Let's say they say planet Earth. Then during the performance, they're gonna hear a notification on their phone, and it's gonna say, I knew, for example, from the beginning that you were gonna pick planet Earth as your word. So that's another effect. Then there's also a Cyber Pro with effects already listed that are ready but are not yet released. So I'm guessing there's gonna be a paid version or an upgrade, or maybe it's gonna be free for existing users of the app to get you to Cyber Pro. So now that I've covered almost everything, and I've told you kind of the details about everything going on with the app, would I recommend it? Yes, I would recommend it. I think that it's really good. I think that it's something that I've not experienced with. So I think that especially for someone that you don't know, it's gonna be, especially the dial glitch effect for me, I think that's incredibly impressive for them just to have their phone in their hand face down and your phone face up on the dial pad, the actual Apple dial pad on your phone, and then imagining them typing the digits and then your phone calling them is an incredible effect. I think that alone is worth the price of the app. Regarding the Inject compatibility, I do not own Inject. I've wanted to buy it, but I've heard that Inject 3 is coming out, so I've decided not to purchase it. I'll wait for that version. But for inject users, there is apparently a compatibility. Apparently it doesn't do much according to the Magic Cafe. It's just there for to ease a certain effect. Apparently I cannot comment much on that. I do not want to throw myself under the bus because I do not own inject, so I don't know what's going on. But for that I can comment. But essentially, as a package, this is a good effect. It is something I'm gonna perform, but right now with everything going on, not really. I just tried it on my friends and family that are close. And apart from that, this is a good product. I think that it's worth taking a look if it's something that interests you, with some of the drawbacks that I gave regarding that you do have to touch the foam, that you do have to have a gimmick, and that you need to practice patter, because if not, it's gonna feel weird. Then by all means, go ahead and buy it. I'll give Cyber by Worm and Theory 11 an 8.5 on 10. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys appreciate that I still made a review for you. Leave a like, subscribe, and see you all in the next video. Peace.